If you haven't checked your home for fire hazards lately, you might want to check out this next story we have for you. Our crew toured a home with a fire chief, going room to room and floor to floor, looking for anything that could pose a fire risk. Well, the tour only happened because 24-hour News 8's Susan Samples had a fire scare of her own.
When temperatures drop, we all start to crank up the heat, and that means the risk of a house fire goes up too. So when I had to call firefighters to my northeastern Kent County home recently, I thought it was a good time to share the lessons I learned.
Kent County 911, where's your emergency?
While I wouldn't call it an emergency exactly.
Hello. Well, I have a really strong smell of like an electrical fire in my house, and I don't know where it is.
I definitely wasn't going to bed until I figured it out.
My husband and 2 kids are here, and my husband's saying it smells like electrical.
Okay, we found it in your utility room here.
Cannon Township Fire Chief Jim Morris was among the first responders.
As we walked in, we smelled electrical burning.
Who ultimately traced it to an overheated electrical box.
It's your electrical disconnect for your water heater. And we seen sparks and smoke coming out of that electrical box.
The box is supposed to contain meltdowns, but in our case, a plug was missing, leaving a hole in the top.
Cycled back in, yes, the sparks were flying out of the box and smoke was coming out of the box.
To make matters worse, right above the box, we had exposed paper instead of drywall. A big no-no, like having clutter smashed up against your gas furnace.
If a fire started here, it would have been a fast spread.
But those weren't the only problems in my utility room.
You have an electrical switch here that is just hanging.
Over time, the cord could rub against the furnace edge and get worn.
It's not mounted or anything.
And then there was our carbon monoxide detector.
And it's dead.
Fortunately, our first floor fared much better. We had no cheap extension cords prone to overheating and a relatively clean kitchen area.
The kitchen cooking area accounts for about 40% of fires.
The most common problem Morris sees, too much clutter too close to the stove.
People falling asleep, putting something on the stove, falling asleep. And again, if there's clutter around it, it allows that fire to travel.
The last big lesson, especially critical as winter approaches, fireplace safety. Again, keep the clutter away, the doors and screens shut, and never assume the ashes are all the way out.
And they'll think that they're completely out. They'll throw them in paper bags, put them in the garage. They'll put them in a plastic pail, set them out on the deck.
Morris's final piece of advice, put any ashes in a steel container far away from your house. In Kent County, Susan Samples, 24-hour News 8.
Morris says hot ashes have caused at least a half a dozen house fires in Kent County last year alone. He also advises you to test your smoke detectors and practice fire drills with your family.